This beautiful table had a long journey to get here. It started out pretty smooth, cutting some boards, then on to getting a table ready for a big epoxy pour. The epoxy took a few layers because it was quite deep. This is the first one going in. Use what I can to hold the wood down. Things like bricks from the yard, whatever it takes. After that first layer set up, it was time to top it off. To do that, I needed to scratch it up. So I break out some sandpaper, rough up the epoxy, and get it ready to pour. So what looks beautiful here, unfortunately, I have to do this. There were some other low spots, so I roughed those up too to get ready for pouring some more epoxy. The next layer goes on, kind of flood the area, let that set up for probably about 4 days, just to make sure that it's rock solid before I start sanding on it. Come back at the end of the week, we start unmolding. To this point, everything looks great. Little did I know, as I started working on this more, disaster was waiting right around the corner. I love this router sled that I made. You can buy them or you can get on Amazon and find all the parts, but it made quick work, although a bit messy, but you can see where this table is going pretty quickly after that. When I put threaded inserts in to hold the legs, I like to put a little CA glue in there. I've had times where I've skipped that step, and the threaded insert will, when you screw something in with a lot of pressure, it'll loosen up and make things unstable. So I always try to put some CA glue in there. At this point, the bottom of the table is looking fantastic. I've got the C-channel in there to stabilize everything. Got my medallion, of course. And the legs are ready to be tightened down. So this is kind of where I was very happy with it. And it was time to flip this table over and start working on the top. It was very heavy. My wife Ann helps me. And right here, I realize there is a crack that goes all the way through the epoxy. Nothing to do but move on, see if we can fix this. So we finished flipping this over. I do have a pretty bad habit of catching my wife's fingers underneath the tables. This is a close-up of the crack. And so after an attempted repair, the crack kind of blended in, but I wasn't happy with that either. So we needed to go even more aggressive. So I ended up hogging out quite a bit of epoxy and pouring a whole new flood coat over the whole river so that it would be more consistent from end to end. So I was finally happy with the repair. It took several days, and now it's just Rubio monocoat. Flooding that on, wiping it off, start getting this table ready for delivery. As you can see, with the big table, there is a lot of buffing and rubbing to get this finish really spread out, thin, and looking the way it should. But this just came out spectacular. I was so happy with the way this looks. Just as added protection, quick layer of ceramic, and then it was delivery day. We managed to get this in, barely, got it on the sawhorses, unwrapped it, and then the best part.
Whoa. Oh my God, that's awesome. That is just...
The client's reactions are always my favorite part about delivery. On to the next project.